I'm live here this evening to talk Unfuck Christmas, Orgy of Commerce, which is one of the themes that I have been talking about, one of the themes in my Unfuck Christmas Advent. So we're going to be joined today by Zara Rumsey from bYOUtanical. She runs her own business. She's an entrepreneur. She's also a beacon of light in her community in bringing together other entrepreneurs and business owners so that they can support each other. As the title of this says, Unfuck Christmas, the Orgy of Commerce. It's come up quite a few years in a row, but the spend on some of the Christmas adverts, it kind of makes me uncomfortable.
As a business, you kind of automatically feel like you're fighting a losing battle. There is absolutely no way physically possible I could even consider that kind of an overhead as a cost, um, at all. And it's almost, especially for what I do, it becomes even harder because actually, in a way, what I have to offer is actually so beneficial. Yet we are kind of programmed into this. I must go to Boots. I must buy three for two, and I've got this person, that person, this person, that person, that person to buy for. So I'll just go there. I'll just do it really quickly. I don't need to think about it. But I'm spending, and again, it's this. There is no value almost to that thought. Yet, when as a small business, and I know so many of us who make their own labels, edit their own this, create their own that, spend hours long, making and putting together things, um and then your product is questioned. Um Yet because I can't afford such huge campaigning adverts with, a celebrity donning the thing,
And they shouldn't, because
people
you
are
shouldn't
questioning what
need
I'm
the
doing.
adverts in the first place to be able to. I know you need a certain amount of marketing to be able to make people aware that you A exist and then what you offer. But it's very hard, like when you don't have large ad budgets, to create that sort of awareness and to share with the world the products that you can give people. And I've had some of your products and little gifts yesterday, and honestly, they are so lovely and so beautiful and professionally done. I know you do it all yourself, but and it's natural and it's got all the
Yeah.
benefits that it's got. It's just like you say, when people go to Boots or they and pick things for other people and family that they know, like X brand or Y perfume and things like that, then it makes it easy for them.
With Especially for my brand, um once you actually, and I say this to so many people, once you actually, let's say for example, in a month, you actually add up every single time you pop to Boots, you pop to Superdrug, you quickly grab that thing that you really need from that shop, which you don't ever use, and then it sits there, and then you spent over £200 a month. Yet, when you want to consider something that's been handmade, handcrafted, and is everything for the future, and it's then, oh, it's too expensive. God, that's quite expensive, isn't it? And it's like, well, what are you questioning here? Like, what are you putting a price on? Um, yeah, I think that's part of the reason why I refuse to compete. I refuse to conform to any kind of
Mm-hmm.
habit, if that makes sense. Um, and I just personally, I just try to be consistent in what I'm doing. And I think that for me should be the biggest advert of my brand, of any business, is the fact that you're showing up each day and you're being consistent in what you're saying. And I think that over anything will defy any huge big dog with their 8 billion campaign, because I think in a way I actually see, and I don't know if that's just my little brain of turning everything into sunshine or happiness or positive, but I actually think those big companies are intimidated by us small businesses, because we still are successful without having to spend that much money on huge branding or marketing.
That's a really good message, I think, to other small business owners, that you can still be successful and to not be intimidated, and how you can reframe that and know that you don't have as much footfall, you don't have necessarily the and the visibility and the convenience always of these bigger stores that people are going to get all of their gifts in, because it's known, because it's comfortable, because they can write their list and get everything there. But it's giving that confidence.
And I think people that no matter what generation you are in, or people are habits of is that right? People are creatures of habit. That's the one. And I often laugh. I mean, even myself, like, I shop at Tesco, Sainsbury's, Aldi, Lidl. I don't ever go to one shop. I don't ever consistently go to one shop, because that one shop never has everything that I need. And I think that's what a lot of small businesses have, is the fact that, like, I know, for example, Jess with her bread, like, I wouldn't buy my bread anywhere else because I know that's the best bread. And her standards will never change. I'll always go to 2020 for my candles, because I'm guaranteed a product there. And I think that is what we small businesses have, it's that we're consistent, we have the same value and the same quality of product all the time, and if anything, getting better, because as we grow and gain more experience, we get better at what we're doing. Yet a big company has to spend £8 billion
in that moment
all the time.
It's about perception, and you mentioned it a little bit before about going to particularly like big companies and how they'll be selling products that are perceived to be better, possibly, than those of unknown, so they don't know. But actually, I'm going to pick on one of the products that I've had in the past. I think it's Charlotte Tilbury or Tilbury. I mean, full product, don't get me wrong, and they're extremely expensive. I guess you could argue in that instance, the amount more that's spent on that product. Would somebody spend that money on that product if it didn't have that kind of marketing behind it? I know it's got testimonials, it's got a lot, it's a well-established brand, but if that was same product, same bottle, same things, or even however it perceived in your shop or in someone else's sort of small online boutique, spend that kind of money on it, because you were talking about value before, and that perception of these are mass produced now. They may have gone through the process and have started out homemade somewhere.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I would never ever want to kind of like disclaim anybody's success, because guaranteed that person did start out in their house, in their garage or whatever, and oh my god, amazing that they've done so well. I just personally know I would, not saying that bYOUtanical would be that successful.
I think it will.
Don't say anything now, but don't say anything now. But what I mean is, I just personally know my business could be as successful as it needs to be, but I wouldn't. That for me wouldn't feel like an achievement. Like to be that big, I mean, don't get me wrong, of course, wouldn't it be a dream that a celebrity wants to, like, you know, promote my stuff or whatever? But
the products and the marketing and the bigger brands versus the littler boutique companies is it creates a bit of an awareness for consumers. So you're able to, so in some ways, I'm not, so you may well end up in exactly the same place as Charlotte Tilbury, and I think you would embrace it and do it and be your unique thing. But if I think the key message is that we are shrouded, that we are misled sometimes to believe that a product is better because it's got really glossy advertisement around it. Not necessarily that it is better, and it's that draw, because marketing works. I'm sure, you know, it's not like this is just a phenomenon. Marketing really works. Behind it and done right, it can be really effective. And it's just being really aware as a consumer that often, whether it be the Christmas adverts that are spending too much money when they could be feeding the world or doing better things with that money, or other companies trying to say my product's the best, it's you're drawn into it. We are naturally psychologically drawn to the way the advert is constructed.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it is interesting. Like, I'm a giver. My favorite thing in the whole wide world is giving. I love giving people things. Because I love to love, and I love the enjoyment of really taking time, and I consider gifts, and I love the whole thing about it. You know, wrapping it and getting it ready and picking things specifically for people and creating magic. I love the sense of creating magic. I don't have money, but I damn well know I create magic without having to spend thousands of pounds. But I'm also a human being, and I highly have the anxiety of I need to get that person that because that's what they want. And no matter how much it costs me, I will try my hardest to get them exact because I want that to be perfect.
Really, does anyone need anything or want anything at Christmas? It's not really about presents, or it shouldn't be about presents. And yeah.
No, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because I mean, for God's sake, I do reels. That's cheaper, isn't it? Just do loads of reels. I mean, you get to take the piss out yourself, and you get to sell your adverts. I mean, come on now. It doesn't cost me anything. It doesn't cost me anything. And trust me, I don't care. I don't care about my bride either. But I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Like even as the consumer on that. I mean, and I'm saying what I'm saying, but at the end of the day, I'm making reels because I want to sell my stuff.
We're all selling something all of the time. We are, if we're not actively selling a business or a product, something people are exchanging for money, we're in a job, we're in a career, we're doing something, we're trying to sell the best version of ourselves. Look at me, what I can do, look how I can create, you know, impact, purpose, and value. And it's almost like marketing makes the world go round. It is an essence of our day-to-day psychology. My biggest beef is just, I say, the gross orgy of commerce, in that I think the amount of money that is spent at this time to basically manipulate us into thinking we need to spend all this money, which is not what Christmas is about.
Then what? 12 million people are queuing outside next because it's the Boxing Day sales. I'm thinking,
the reality is, what was Boxing
you
Day
just
about?
can't win.
Boxing Day, the name itself comes from the fact that all the collections that were made over the course of Christmas, and that may have been weeks, days, whatever, in the churches, the church boxes were then emptied out on the day after Christmas to help those in need and help those less fortunate. It's about charity, not about getting bang for your buck. And so that's where I think the disconnect is. We talk about the spirit of Christmas and talk about it being, you know, we're disconnected with it and it's not always a nice time, we're stressed and we're busy. Well, if we didn't go and shop and we actually just, like, one of the things I suggested was go online and buy a toy for a child that's in a refuge or something like that, and say that's what we've done, give the gift of charity, then in some ways you're kind of turning it. And I know that my mission to Unfuck Christmas is a small one, but it's a starting point. It's a start change. It's to get people talking and thinking about, why do we do it? Why is it needed? Why is £8 billion spent on marketing at Christmas to appeal to people's lack, so that they feel worse about themselves, when you could have used that money to either employ more people in the company for a start, because unemployment rates are really high, or help charities, help the homeless, try and deal with disadvantaged and unfortunate, less fortunate people. So yeah, I don't know whether you can say much more than that, really, apart from like make awareness that it's just doesn't fit right. It doesn't feel right. I think that's kind of the message. I mean, Zara, what would be, is there a message, or is there something you could tell people in terms of like what it means to you when people do support you in your business and then love your products? I mean, you've got amazing feedback. How can we encourage?
Yeah, I have. It's been quite overwhelming, but really nice at the same time. I just think, like, I think any small business owner would nod their head and agree with me. Like a sale, like we're having a party, like we're doing dad dancing in the kitchen. Like that is how much it means. And the fact that, I mean, I can't even put into words how much it means when someone comes back to you, and they come back and they come back and they come back time and time again. And I think anything I would ever ask as a small business owner, is if you buy off a business, it takes 2 minutes to give feedback. It takes 2 minutes to pop onto the website and give positive feedback about what the service you've had. That I think for any small business owner, is gold dust. And it also enables us to be able to serve you better. It means that we are constantly able to make sure that you are always going to receive that exact same service. But yeah, I mean, it's the hardest thing I will ever do, and I have ever done in my whole entire life. But I tell you what, I've never felt so alive, and I've never wanted anything. I want to get up in the morning. I'm excited about life. Yeah, it's good.
To consumers, I get it. I get why it's easier and more convenient when you can click on Amazon and get a gift the next day. You know, I'm talking in some of my themes about time, about efficiency, also talking about sustainability and all the other things, but they conflict each other. So all of the different messages sometimes do conflict. And I think,
yeah,
you know, you have to do what's right for you as an individual. So if in that moment ease and convenience is what you need, then go down that road. I'd always say challenge, do you actually need it? We're going to talk about family and communication, Jason, hopefully in the next coming week. Yeah.
Ooh,
I know.
I'm looking forward to these other talks, though.
But it touches on so many things, and it's that you know, it drives. I actually think marketing drives so many of the other bad behaviors and feelings and the stress that comes with Christmas, because it starts there. It starts with that pressure to become the Christmas advert when that's not what it's about. I'd love to say there's lots of people joining us now. We're kind of getting towards the end of the conversation, but yeah, it's been really good. All right.
Yeah, I hope that it's given people food for thought anyway.
I hope this conversation helps provoke even just a little bit of thought. We're not here to make anyone feel guilty for the choices that they make. Whatever's right for you right now.
Pro-choice here, guys. Pro-choice.
Can I do something different? Just one thing. slightly different, to make
Yeah,
Christmas more spiritual, to make it more authentic and real and true to its proper
yeah.
values, as opposed to money and shiny things, then I think job well
Yeah.
done.
Perfect. All right, lovely lady. Have a blessed evening. Bye.